Well, all right. That does it. 16 games. We played 16 games this season. Had some incredible highs, and I think this is obviously the lowest point for the Raiders at this point. This was just a very poorly played game. And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself, Derek Carr basically has got to be the MVP. He's not going to win it. They're going to give it to somebody like Tom Brady. But I mean, Tom Brady goes out, the Patriots still win football games. Um, Derek Carr makes this offensive line look good. He really does. Getting the ball out as quickly as he does, understanding the offense, doing all the things that it is that he does as a quarterback. He makes the offensive line look a lot better, I think, than they are, because you've just watched this game today, and you know, um, it's just shocking. It's shocking how horrible of a football game that was, and they cut it off at the end of the beginning of the third quarter. They just cut off the feed here, so I had to listen to the rest of it on the radio. Connor Cook, from what I saw, did a fantastic job. I really liked the way that he was throwing the ball. I liked his command. He didn't look like he was a deer in the headlights. Just looks like he, just needs time, and he needs opportunities. We lost the AFC West. That's a huge bummer. I wanted to win the AFC West, even with the Derek Carr injury. I wanted to win the AFC West, and now the fat walrus gets it, and that sucks. I'm having a bit of an issue here with these phone lines. I can't seem to get them going here. So let me just pop open the connections here.
Joining conference now.
There we go. That should be it. So yeah, if you guys don't call in today, that's fine. I've got to wrap it up kind of early. I got to be out of here by 5:30 for New Year's dinner. But I just don't feel like talking about this football team right now. I don't feel. It's just shockingly apparent to me that. Like I said, I was so excited. What is this team going to do? How are they going to come out? We're going to run the ball. We have to take the ball away on defense. Khalil Mack is still here. He's the defensive MVP. We still have a good coaching set. And it's just kind of like, oh my God. Yeah, we really need Derek Carr. So, McGloin just laid a complete egg out there today. Not his fault entirely. But again, I think I would have chose to try to attack that defense a little bit differently. I think the game plan was flawed from the gate. But like I said, they get paid the big money, and we just kind of talk about what they did wrong when they did it wrong, and we talk about what's right when they did right. Like, I was sitting there like, stop running the draw play. And then all of a sudden they run the draw play with DeAndre Washington, and he picks up like 20 yards. And I'm like, run the draw play, So again, it's Monday morning quarterbacking. It's sitting there, armchair quarterbacking, whatever you want to call it, sitting there after the fact and saying what happened. I understand they put a game plan together. They had a way that they wanted to approach this, and it just blew up in their face. So what do you do? All right, let's jump to the phone lines. Visalia, California. Hello, you're on.
Hey, Pryor.
What's going on, brother man?
How you doing, Pryor?
Not too good, man. Not too good, man. That was horrible.
I know the feeling, man. The only thing we look at is we're still in the playoffs. I'm not going to quit on this team, but I'm not happy at all with how they quit on us today.
Yeah, it seemed like
That's really what happened.
it seemed like they were just lifeless. It seemed like I said, the offensive line never had any push. They were getting pushed around. The defensive line, we were allowing big plays. They did not tackle today. Penalties, their head was not in the game. Guys were dropping balls. Matt McGloin's got Amari Cooper wide open. You only get a few of those opportunities, and when you miss them like that, it's going to come back to haunt you. I mean, again, imagine Amari Cooper catches that ball, we score the touchdown. Again, they don't fumble the ball when they're marching to score against Denver. This is a different football game, but it's striking to me how lifeless this football team is without Derek Carr in there. I mean, that is a real problem. The rest of the team has got to be able to play for something, and I just saw today a completely flat, lifeless team. I'm not giving up on this team either. I think we have a much better chance at this point with Connor Cook in there, as strange as that is to say. But, God, if they play like – Houston's just got to be licking their chops.
Yeah, you know what the thing is that what really disturbs me the most is that Carr's your leader, of course. He's out there doing all those good things. He gets hurt, goes down. So if a player doesn't step up, the head coach has to step up, and I didn't see that at all today.
Yeah, I was kind of like I said at the halftime. Like I said, Jack Del Rio's kind of standing there. I saw no fire from Ken Norton Jr. I think he's done. I think he understands this was most likely his last game. There was no fire from him. Jack Del Rio just was too calm. You gotta put these guys in a position where they can be successful. I think the play calling, I think some of the things that they were trying to do, the areas that they were trying to attack, like I said, it's just you're trying to be too cute. Don't be too cute. Do exactly what Denver did to us. Go after the middle of the field. Go after our linebackers. Don't have the quarterback hold on to the ball for too long. Don't allow him to get beat up. Get positive yardage on first and second down. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't just come out and try to run the ball. You've got Denver coming up. They're putting 11 guys in the box. You've got single coverage on the outside. Why not go ahead and come out in a 5 wide, and force those linebackers to kind of to move outside of that box and then try to run the ball. They didn't. They basically tried to run into the teeth of the defense, and when they threw, it was pretty obvious what they were going to be doing. So from a coaching standpoint, I just think that they thought, hey, we're not going to skip a beat. Let's go ahead and run what we would normally run. And, the difference between Derek Carr and Matt McGloin is that Derek Carr, no matter what, is going to go to that first read if it's open. And Matt McGloin is not. Matt McGloin is going to look. He's going to try to take some shots. He said it himself. I'm not going to be a check down. That's why the offense works. The offense works because you continually are forcing teams to defend the entirety of the field. Derek Carr gets rid of the ball really quickly. Today we saw Matt McGloin, I think, hold on to the ball too long, and Connor Cook as well.
Yeah, but the other thing too is that what I don't see in this offense is one thing that I think everyone's going to say the same thing. We don't have Cooper run the slant at all, and what would it hurt to have him slide down the slot and run a slant every so often, or come out from the outside and run a slant once in a while?
Yeah,
he could do some real damage against teams, but he just doesn't do it.
No, and this would have been the perfect game for that. I mean, again, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, run the ball. I just didn't understand. The one thing that I don't understand about Bill Musgrave is that he is instead of just going to what should work, what you do well, what your players do well. He continues in games like this to try to do the opposite, like to try to be too cute about it. In my opinion, you did for this football team, you played right into their hands. You allowed yourself to fall behind early. You allowed them to shut down the run. And then once they started to get up, you allowed them to just come after your quarterback and knock your quarterback around and beat you up and do all kinds of stuff. I mean, it was flawed from the beginning. Come out, line up, run the ball, you know what I'm saying? Or again, attack that outside coverage, audible out, go to that outside coverage if you've got the one-on-one matchups. They didn't do that. They ran the screen, the draw plays, and just your typical ineffective. You need a bunch of those. That's the whole thing with this offense. With Musgrave's offense, you need a bunch of opportunities. When you don't get, and Derek Carr gives you those opportunities. When you don't get those opportunities, you get what you got today. So again, whether it's Connor Cook, whether it's Matt McGloin, you got to get them to understand, just go to your first read if it's open. If it's not, it doesn't matter if it's behind the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter if it's, whatever it is, make them defend the entire field. Matt McGloin was looking for certain matchups. Matt McGloin was trying to exploit the outside, the single coverage on the outside. And really, I mean, I just don't understand why they didn't do a lot more seam stuff, a lot more stuff in the middle of the field. All right, we're going to move on to the next call, but it looks like we got the playoffs next week, man. I'm hoping, God, I can't, this was just terrible. We're on such a high. What a horrible time for this to be going down. But again, man, I put out a video earlier wishing everybody Happy New Year. Obviously, Tim, I wish you a Happy New Year. Always appreciate the support, all the things that you have done and been part of with this channel. So I wish you a Happy New Year, my brother. And I appreciate, like I said, you calling in and participating.
You have a good New Year's, Red Pirate and rest of Raider Nation. This will be a better year. Just keep on.
That's right, brother.
You guys have a good one.
All right, take care. All righty, we got a caller calling in from Durham, North Carolina. Caller, you're on.
Hey, Dave, what's happening, man?
What's going on, man?
First of all, let's get rid of all the blenders. Happy New Year, brother.
Amen. Happy New Year.
That team sucked. Those guys played with no heart.
Nothing.
No anything. Now, I called in last week and told you that I was behind Matt McGloin 100%, man, that he disappointed the heck out of me.
Yeah. You know what? It just seemed like the game, again, was obviously too big for him. And like I said, the thing is, if you get the jitters, if you get out there, it's understandable. Hey, okay, here's your opportunity. You're going to go out there. You're going to show the world. Everybody's talking about you. You want to prove everybody. You know what, man? Just go out there and execute the offense. That's all that you have to do. You don't have to sit there, hold on to the ball, and wait for the types of matchups. Just go out there, and if they call a 693 X drag dog 2X, YZ, whatever it is, man, you just go to the X, man. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get the ball out of your hands,
Yeah, man. He was completely off. And like I was telling you, this was his free agency year too.
Yeah.
Homeboy was making $2.5 million this year.
Horrible.
And he's in a contract year, and he come up with that kind of mess. Reggie will not be re-signing him. You can believe that.
No.
Reggie will not re-sign him.
I told just real quick, man, I was talking to the Oakland Knight about that too. And I said, man, you do understand, right, that he got $2.5 million and he's appeared in 2 games. He's appeared in 2 games. So basically he made $1.25 million. The game that he came in and won for us in Houston, okay. I think $1.25 million is a little extravagant for that, but whatever. In this particular game, like I said, he just looked like he lost a lot of money, man. He lost a lot of money, lost a lot of credibility, and people are going to be – now, if you thought it was bad last week before people got a chance to look at you throw the ball high in the dirt, get knocked around, man, they're going to come out of the woodwork to break you apart and to talk about how this team is doomed.
You're absolutely correct about that. This was not that showcase, put fear in everybody in the playoff picture from Matt McGloin. The offensive line, I thought that they would step up and take a big step, be that road grader that we talked about all year.
Yes.
Man, they were terrible.
Yep. Well, and again, look, the play calls, everybody, I understand what Bill Musgrave is trying to do when he has Derek Carr. When he has Derek Carr, I'm down with it because Derek Carr, as we now, I think, understand, it has become extremely painfully clear how important Derek Carr is and how good Derek Carr is, that he gives you an opportunity. He is going to make it's incredible the disparity that we're seeing at this point right now. I was sitting there watching watching that game, and I just thought to myself, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, the offense, the defense, the special team, the best player was the punter. We've had, we can't have games like that. But Derek Carr makes this offensive line, I think, look better than it is. The running game, other coaches have to respect Derek Carr. He makes the running game better than it is. He makes these receivers better than they are. They are extremely talented, don't get me wrong. But because of the fact that he moves the offense and he gets so many offensive snaps, that allows them to have drops but still be productive. Once you pulled him out of that offense, this offense sucks. It sucks. It's ridiculous. It's a check down Molly type of offense. It's stupid gun runs that you shouldn't be running on first down, on 1st and 10 or in 2nd and 9. You just shouldn't. There was a series there where I just sat there and thought, what is it that you're doing? Why don't you just get out there, line up in the freaking eye and pound the ball? Just pound it. Just come out there, just pound the ball. I'm gonna say this. Not only did we lose the game, not only did we lose the division, but we showed the other teams in the playoffs that this team is soft. Now, this team can go in, and when we played Denver the first time, we imposed our will. We went in there, we imposed our will. We've done that with several teams. But today, Denver was the aggressor, man. Today, we were like Ronda Rousey. We were just getting punched in the face and knocked around and just bloody nose and didn't know where the hell. Oh, my God.
I got to stop you, man. You didn't call us to Ronda Rousey, did you, man?
Man, hey, it is what it is, man. We looked really good. We looked really good. We looked really strong. But at this particular point, man, we walked into a buzzsaw, and that's Denver. And here's the unfortunate part, okay? So you're missing your defensive tackle, all right? You're missing your middle linebacker. Teams have been running the ball on you all year long, okay? You're missing your strong safety who comes up to support the run. You have an extremely big, strong offensive line. You've got a stable of running backs. And what is it that you choose to do? You choose to come in, be in the shotgun, hand off the ball to the running back when everybody in the stadium knows, they're probably going to do the draw right now, right? They're probably going to do the draw with Latavius spinning, jumping left to right, Murray or whatever. These guys, the game plan, like I said, should have been, we're going to line up, we're going to run the ball at these guys. If they start putting people in the box, we'll go play action. We'll try to get the ball to the outside. I mean, when I saw Denver march down the field and score, I thought, this defense, they look lifeless. They look lifeless. They're not.
The whole team looked completely lifeless, man. I mean, it was just like maybe that second or third preseason game that we had.
Right.
These guys, they couldn't do anything.
Right. Yeah.
And, well, man, look, that game was over. That team sucked. I hope that's not the same team that show up next Saturday, I think. Man, I'm going to run, man. I'm gonna let some other folks jump in, man. But I'm out.
Yeah, we got next week, man. We'll see what happens next week. If this team does come in next week and they lay another egg like that, then then we start talking about next year, man. All right, brother, man. Happy New Year. Appreciate the calls, and I hope to hear from you next week after the game, man.
After the game's over, I'll be here.
All right, brother, man. You take care. All right, we got a caller calling in from Madera, California. Caller, you're on. You're on, man. You're on. You're on. Madera? Uh-oh. Somebody's getting down over there. All right, I'm going to put you back on hold for a second. Fairfield, Tucson, California.
Hey, good evening. It's really a very disappointing game. I really thought at least the running game would help the Raiders today, but oh my gosh, it was just. There was one when I saw you when you were on halftime. You were talking about run it down the middle. I mean, they did do that first series when Washington had that 20-yard run.
Yeah.
So then the Crabtree had the 13-yard catch, and then the fumble came in. And I just had a feeling, I said on Twitter, it's like that was where the momentum came to a crashing halt, whatever momentum they had going with Cook. I mean, Cook, but one thing I do have to say, it's obvious Cook does have to start next week in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He has to start in the playoffs. I mean, either way, you had three inexperienced playoff quarterbacks, whether it was in Carr. I mean, Carr would have been more experienced quarterback going into that game, like regular season-wise, but at the end of the game, either one of those three quarterbacks would have been at playoff game number one. So that would have been interesting to see, even with Carr, even at quarterback, how next week would go on.
Yeah, but you can see a clear difference in terms of Derek Carr as opposed to these guys. I mean, Derek Carr has been in big games. I think he's played in games in college. He's also played in games, in the National Football League where he's had to go out and win games and come from behind. I mean, we're really not understanding how good and how important he is to this football team, because watching Matt McGloin, like you just said, look, Matt McGloin is where he's supposed to be, a backup quarterback. We'd all like him to be a starter somewhere. We'd all like him to get a bunch of money and go to Houston and be Houston's quarterback and reunite with Bill O'Brien and, help the Houston Texans or, whatever it is. But again, the bottom line is, look, you needed to go out there and you needed to just remain in control. You needed to move the offense. You needed to make the throws that needed to be made. This team was going to make it very – they were going to make it very easy for you, and they made it very easy for them. They put man-on-man coverage. They put 11 guys in the box. Nobody does that. They didn't have a freaking safety out there. So they're going to make this extremely simple on you.
But there is something, though, I do have to say that really aggravated me the entire game, and that was Denver getting away with basically murder all day,
right.
Really taking out McGloin. Some of those cheap shots. The hits, the holding.
There was a bunch of penalties I saw. There were things that we were getting called for that they weren't getting called for. I mean, there was a lot of.
The one that really aggravated me was right at the end where Mac barely even touched what's his name,
right,
tight end, and he gets called for a personal foul.
Exactly.
Right at halftime.
Exactly. When Aqib Talib rips off a freaking gold chain, is laughing at a player.
He's been thrown out of the game for that.
We have ridiculous, stupid rules about, you can't call somebody a name or you're going to get ejected from the game. But you can go over, you can taunt them. If you're dancing in the end zone, it's a flag. How is that not a flag? How many times did Matt McGloin get helmet-to-helmet contact? He got the one call, but he didn't
call it one.
Right, but he didn't get the second call.
One roughing the passer one.
Exactly.
The NFL had it set up to where in the first half we're going to lose this game.
Yep, and unfortunately, like I said, you have to understand, and this is what I I try to explain. The thing about Derek Carr is that Derek Carr creates opportunities. He creates plays. We hate the fact that he throws the check down. We hate the fact that he throws, passes that we don't want him to throw, the screens and all those types of things.
But the check downs work.
Exactly. They get positive yardage, and then eventually where either he makes a play or somebody makes a play for him. So he creates a lot of plays, so you get a lot of volume. This game plan that we had going in was not about creating volume plays. It was about trying to get in there and try to outsmart this Denver team that when I'm sorry, but when you put 8 guys in the box, okay, when you have 8 people in the box and you only have 5 offensive linemen, it's going to be difficult for you to run the ball. And I remember Mike Martz saying it. Mike Martz said it a long time ago. He said, if people, I don't care what quarterback I have, whether it's Trent Green, whether it's Warner, whoever it is, he said, I don't care. He said, if you put 8 guys in the box, I am going to go 5 wide. And then you just do the Fresno offense. You just throw a little 2-yard pass because all you're really trying to do is create a mismatch between a linebacker and make them pay for it. Come on, but what did we do instead? We were so predictable. We came out. I saw them go to the 5 wide, right? I saw them go. It was like third and 9 or something like that. And they go to 5 wide. I'm like, oh wow, he's going to 5. And then the effing running back comes back and lines up next to him, and then he throws the screen to the running back, and they were just sitting there waiting for it, right?
They're just only getting like 2 yards.
Exactly. They're just waiting for it. But my point is, the camera comes on, and I see, oh, it's 3rd and 9. They're in an empty backfield. Oh, okay. And then like I said, Richard or I forget who it was, motions back and gets right next to McGloin, and then McGloin throws him the little screen pass, which they picked up 1 yard or 2 yards, whatever it was. I mean, it's just stupid stuff like that. And I'm sorry, it in my opinion,
it irritates all of us.
Yes. And I understand that with Derek Carr, it works. So I get that. I totally understand that. But if you don't understand the concept that I just said, Derek Carr creates a volume of plays. I think these other 2 quarterbacks, they don't know how to do that. He's been doing it for 2 years. He did it under Olsen. Hey, just get rid of the ball. Just get rid of the ball. I don't care. Just get rid of the ball. We don't want you to get sacked. We don't want to get rid of – he did it under Musgrave. Get rid of the ball. I understand it's going to be for a loss of 2 yards or 3 yards. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get a strip sack. You're not going to get a fumble. You're not going to bad things aren't going to happen. And we saw today with these 2 more inexperienced quarterbacks. And again, against this defense, I mean, come on, don't call plays where Cooper and Crabtree are running streak routes down the, you know what I mean? Like, run slant routes. How difficult is that to teach? Yeah, how difficult is it to teach a freaking slant route? I know that it's not part of the offense, but how difficult is it? Hey, here's what you're going to do. You're going to run 5 yards straight up. You're going to juke to the outside, and then you're going to cut toward the middle of the field and catch the ball. You know what I mean? Like, that's – I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This team looked horrible. This team looked disgusting today. It really is disgusting to watch the effort that they put out.
They got to find a way of getting it. They got to find a way of getting a better attitude. Needs to change. It just felt like they weren't interested today.
Yeah, and they scored 6 points, while the defense basically just allowed them. This was disgusting. It's a disgusting game, and if they don't understand, I don't care what anybody says or you should have been dead. No. This was a disgusting game. It's a disgusting game. It was a poor game plan.
Denver had nothing but pride to play for.
They kicked us around that Coliseum. They kicked us around. They dragged us wherever they wanted to drag it. Like I said, dude, look, man, Trevor Siemian.
They used to play. I mean, they watched you play Alabama better than we played Denver today.
Exactly. Well, that's why I'm saying.
Say that.
Look, the bottom line is that team had nothing to play for. Half of their defense was on injured reserve or not playing today, and we still got boat raced by that football team. Trevor Siemian looked good. The running game looked phenomenal. You would imagine that those guys were leading the league and rushing the way they ran the ball.
Right.
We just didn't. I mean, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. I don't understand. We don't need to be so cute. Why can't we just be like Dallas? Why can't we just go in there and people will say, oh, well, Dallas lost today. Without their running back, without their quarterback, without, you know what I mean? Like, of course
they everybody.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Pittsburgh found a way to win today, but they sat everybody still.
Exactly. And they were sitting there in a game with Cleveland, I mean, you looked at the Patriots and you just thought, man, nobody's going to stop this football team. This football team is just crazy. It looks like the Patriots are going to be in the freaking Super Bowl again. What the heck? What's going on here? Something is going on here, right? But this football team, the team that I saw today, I'm just sickened by it. I mean, I literally am. It just makes me sick. When Carr went down and McGloin came back into that game, I was just like, oh, my God. Oh, this is not going to be good, right? This is not going to be good. Now we don't have the bye. Now there's no chance for Derek Carr to come back, right? Because we're probably going to get boat raced in Houston. They're probably going to come out with Savage and knowing that, oh, you guys beat us in Mexico. Okay, now you got to come to Houston and play us in our house. We got to play that team again. I just wish Derek Carr was available because, like I said, I think we would have beat Denver easily. And then I think we would have had a bye week, and then somebody would have had to come to Oakland. There's no playoffs in Oakland this year, guys. We made it.
Yeah, unless somehow a miracle happens in Miami and Oakland can pull off upsets in both the wild card and divisional rounds.
Right? Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. If for some reason Pittsburgh, no, it wouldn't happen. I was gonna say if like Pittsburgh were to beat. No, you're right. Okay, so if Miami beats Pittsburgh, right. So at that point, then though, Miami would still end up going to the 1 or 2 seed. So,
that's right.
There's no
Maybe
way
Miami would go to the 1 seed.
Yeah,
with the lowest seed playing the highest, the way they do the bracket.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just really unfortunate. We needed the freaking Chargers to win. I've seen the Chargers come back against teams. They couldn't do it today.
They couldn't.
Kansas City. I'm starting to hate Kansas City. You look at Andy Reid and how he celebrates and all that kind of stuff.
I've always hated him, but
yeah, that and like I said, Aqib Talib. I'm starting to build a nice little healthy. It's been a while since I really had a healthy disdain for the division. Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever. But you start, particularly Aqib Talib. That guy just, that he's just a bad person.
EITCH.
Yeah, he's a bad person. As a kid, he was just a naughty little kid that probably got in trouble and burned dogs with matches. And
the guy pulled off a plexical bird.
Exactly, shot himself in the leg. He just looking at him, you just look at his face and you just know, like, that guy's doing something wrong. He's planning on doing something wrong. He's thinking about doing something wrong.
Like a guy got beat up a lot.
Exactly. He's just like a weaselly, rat-faced, guy. So that kind of upset me. And then, like I said, Andy Reid, winning the AFC West. Okay, that's fine. But if Derek Carr was there, this would be a different story. So now we just gotta root for. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to either go play.
Yeah, cool. We still got to stick by our boys. And before I get off, last thing I just want to say is just got to stick by our boys. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I mean, we still exceeded a lot of expectations. I said this team would be 10-6. They went 12-4. So I mean, we can't take anything away from a good season, but it still sucks without Carr and going into the playoffs like this.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, like I've said it, before. This was the opportunity. This was the year was special. The way that it started, the games that we were playing in, the way that we were winning, the way that this defense came around.
I expected more as the season was going on.
Yes.
I expected, I want more from this team when
Right.
playoff time comes.
Well, that's why I said this was the opportunity. Everybody, those people that will comment or whatever, oh, don't worry, bring back Carr next year. He'll be healthy. We'll go down. No, we don't know anything about next year. We really don't.
What it's going to be like.
We really don't.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, and he should definitely be back by even OTAs. But
yeah, but we don't know.
We don't get to the game action.
We don't know that dude could blow out his ACL in week 1. You know what I mean? Like, we just don't.
Yeah, exactly.
The things that were happening.
Palmer was having.
Go ahead.
He reminds me of a young Carson Palmer before Palmer got hurt in that playoff game against the Steelers his first time out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just thought that this season was special, and I would have loved to have gone as deep into the playoff. We didn't even need to win the Super Bowl, but just to have gone deep into the playoffs and let teams know, man, we're back.
Now they got to go to either Arrowhead, or if they win, they either got to go to Arrowhead or Foxborough now,
right,
in the divisional round.
That's which is crazy.
Instead of having a game at the Coliseum and then going to Foxborough for the AFC Championship game.
Or, like you said, having a game at the Coliseum and then somehow maybe Pittsburgh upsets,
or Miami upset.
Or yeah.
It would have to be Miami upsetting Pittsburgh and New England, the Raiders upsetting Houston and then winning an Arrowhead for that AFC Championship game that happened in Oakland.
Exactly. But it's still, again, this is the unfortunate part. This is the thing that I really despise. You come on here, you talk to people, you have all of this hope, and, I'm watching all these people on TV, and they're coming on and they're saying, these guys aren't even going to win a playoff game. Super Bowl, forget the Super Bowl. These guys can't win a playoff game. And I'm sitting here like, man, you guys are going to be, you're going to be surprised. Matt McGloin's going to come in there and he's going to do something special, and you're going to see. You're going to see.
I thought so too.
And you know what, man? We fell on our face today. We fell on our face. We look terrible. Nobody is afraid of playing this football team now. We cannot run the ball. This was it just could have been done so differently, just come out,
right,
impose your will, play field position, run the ball, play defense. But like I said, when I saw Denver march right down the field, when I saw those big lanes, when I saw that they had James Cowser in there at one of the defensive end spots, and he just kept getting pushed inside. Yeah. He couldn't contain the edge. And so they were able to just get those runs to the outside. I said, oh, God, this is going to be a long day. And then once they got 10 points and McGloin was struggling mightily, I thought to myself, we may not be able to score 10 points. And we didn't. We scored 6. We only scored 6 points.
I said going into – I said like halfway through the third quarter on Twitter, I was like, just try not to get shut out.
Yeah. But that does not bode well for us, man. This was a Denver team that, like I said, had a lot of problems, had a lot of players sitting down, whose coach is going to be leaving, who is out of the playoffs. There was nothing for that team to play for. When we go to Houston, Houston has everything to play for. You know what I'm saying? So, and then what are they going to do about a quarterback? If McGloin can't make it, they got to bring in an emergency quarterback. This is just a horrible.
Let Crabtree start next week. I mean, he's supposed to be the emergency third quarterback. Somebody say that in the chat room. I was like, why not? I mean, make some gimmicks or something.
Yeah, well, they got to do something. But again, like I said, man, right now, McGloin is
you
not.
And I will probably be signed or something.
McGloin is not the answer. It would have been great if he came in and, but you know what? It didn't work out that way. So,
well,
we're going to have to
let you go because you probably have a few more callers to get to before you have to get off the air. And Happy New Year! And It's great that I finally got to make my debut on the show.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling, man, and hopefully we hear from you again. I'll have much more time next week. We got a dinner that I'm doing, but or I'm going to. But
well, Happy New Year, everybody, and still Happy New Year, Raider Nation. We got back our boys. That's all I gotta say. Win, lose, Orange for L.
yeah, they got to talk about us, man. They're gonna have to start talking about us once again. Madeira, are you there? Madeira, can you hear? It's not sounding too good, Madeira. It's not sounding too good, brother man. Something's wrong with your phone, man. Try to call back in. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I'm going to shut this down at 5:30. So I'm going to go ahead and put the mute on that puppy. So, you know, like I said, man, it is what it is, and it's a hard pill to swallow right now. A lot of the hope that I had is diminishing just because of the fact that we looked so bad today. I mean, this reminded me of, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, all this talent, and they just can't play unless Derek Carr is there. I mean, what do we do? What are we going to do at this point? It has to be something that this team, it's got to look at itself in the mirror. Jack Del Rio's got to do something. Like I said, I was watching. Jack Del Rio seems like he's just there, kind of like, what's going on? Ken Norton wasn't talking into the microphone. He wasn't yelling. He's not even calling this defense. I'm sure basically he's just on his way out. He's getting ready to go to, Bermuda or wherever else it is that he's going to go to. Again, the game plan offensively left a lot to be desired. This offensive line really let me down. I really thought we were going to go in and impose our will. We didn't. The running backs, again, I don't want to see Murray back next year. I said I would get behind everybody, Austin Howard, Menelik Watson, everybody, Sean Smith, now we're in the playoffs. We got, I just don't want to see Latavius Murray back. I think he just, for as big and strong as he is just a very finessey style of runner. We needed to get positive yardage. We need to see more of DeAndre Washington. We need to see more of Jalen Richard. They're so much more explosive. So, like I said, it is what it is. And I looked at it. I wanted us to get a running back in the draft next year because there are so many, and I think we could probably get one in the second round. But I'm moving away from corner at this point, and I'm saying we've got to strengthen the interior of that defensive line. We just got pushed around today. We need a middle linebacker. I think Perry Riley's been doing a good job, but we need linebackers. We need a couple of linebackers at this point. So, we'll see how it goes next week. I mean, this is going to be a challenge for sure. It is going to be a big time challenge to go on a short week to Houston and play against that football team. There's one thing that Bill O'Brien likes to do, and that's run and hit and intimidate. So if they play as softly as they did today, that's going to be a problem. But, other than that, we just got to keep on keeping on, man. We got to keep on keeping on. We still are in the playoffs. Anything can happen from this point. I haven't lost complete hope, but again, watching that type of a performance today, if we have anything close to that next week, again, we'll probably get shut out. Most likely we will get shut out. All right, man. Hang on one second. Watts Raider looks like he just popped in. The closer, you got about 8 minutes, bro.
All right. Hey, well, we look just totally terrible, man.
We looked horrible. Horrible.
Okay. Yeah. But look, we needed this game. We needed that extra practice, man, because I'm thinking like this. Look, we need to go and start Cook, man, versus Houston and just go from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think McGloin is hurt, though. I think he's hurt. So I would just throw Cook in there. I mean, fuck it. I mean, we have no choice. You know, the Raiders won't bring in. They won't. Well, they might do it now. I mean, they might bring somebody in or whatever. But the whole offense was just off, man. The O-line. I mean, man, our defensive line couldn't get no pressure on the quarterback. And then we kind of played, you know, the whole thing with Talib, you know, he's just a little punk, you know, he gonna snatch off Crabtree chain and, you know, Crabtree should have beat him up, but, you know, he can't do that.
Exactly. He should have
just,
he should have just started choking him right there. He should have just grabbed him and started choking him to the ground right then and there, man.
Yeah. But he had some restraint. Crabtree had more restraint than I would have had. Cause I mean, that was like on some street level type thing.
Yes.
Like, I'm a grown man, he gonna snap my chain off.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, dude, that's terrible.
So,
That's just terrible, man. You know what? And again, maybe in that situation, you know, they both get ejected. They both start fighting. They both get ejected, and it opens up some things for you, man. Because he just kept on punking Crabtree over and over again. You kept seeing it over and over. He was laughing at him. He was
pushing him after the play,
pushing him,
exactly, and all that type of stuff.
And that's on the referees.
The refs would have called none of that.
Right.
I was like, come on, man.
Right. But when
if you don't call one, call both sides.
But when we did something, you know, they were too quick to pull it out. On the Raiders, is it on the Raiders? Okay, yep, on the Raiders. Okay, yeah, 10-yard penalty, right? So, man,
right.
And
then, man, we missed the touchdown to Coop, man.
Yes.
And we was just, in the passing game. We was overthrowing balls, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, McGloin, he's too short, man. He's too short.
And his time is off.
He's a little bit more solid.
His time is off. He reminds me.
Step up in the pocket.
He reminds me. McGloin reminded me of you know, Brett Favre. When Brett Favre would come in, he would be all antsy and he'd throw balls high and throw balls in the dirt. And, you know, he would just his adrenaline. He had too much. But then eventually he would calm down and he would start to play.
Right.
That didn't happen because McGloin, you know, was just getting slammed into the dirt constantly, having his helmet bang off the ground, getting hit with helmet to helmet, all of those types of things. So, you know, I mean, like I said, the referees didn't do us any favors in this game. In fact, it was, you know, I thought it was very poorly officiated.
From the first drive, Denver had control of the game.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
well, that's,
and then look, the defense had 3 good stops, man, to get us in good field position, but we got 0 points out of that. 0 points. Nothing. So that hurt us too, you know, because for a time the defense, they kind of held and got us the ball back when we needed to get it back, but we could not score. We couldn't score nothing.
Well, that's why that's why I said, man, it's scary how much Derek Carr means to this football team. I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It really, this team had no life. And if you can't muster up life because Derek Carr's not in there, how are you expected to do it in Houston? How are you going to do it to go back to Kansas City's already beat us twice.
He got to come with us. Go win his ass out there.
Yeah.
Out here.
Put him in a wheelchair.
Hey, look, I'm thinking about going to the game, though. I'm thinking about buying a ticket to go with him, just because.
There you go. Well,
I want to see it get flew out.
Well, if you're there, man, take some pictures. But I would wheel that dude out I would wheel that dude out in a wheelchair, and you know, just have him as exactly. I would just have him out on a wheelchair out at the wide receiver position. You know what I'm saying? Don't have him involved, but just have him on the field so that they have some life. Because I couldn't believe what I saw. You know, Jason brought up the point that, you know, we saw it in Carolina and we saw it in Indianapolis. We saw a team completely deflate, and we saw that same football team here today. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. It really is. It's disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. There are so many people. There are so many
And
fans.
then they was like, yeah, y'all got outscored 30. We've been outscored like 35 before the Denver game. We was outscored 35-0 since Derek Carr got hurt.
Right. Right.
We hadn't scored any points.
So again, dude, that's why I'm saying that this is a situation where that team has got to look in the mirror and they got to say to themselves, this is BS, man. We're better than this. We have individual players. We're trying too much. They're not even trying too much. They just look terrible. They just looked absolutely terrible. So they got to figure something out. They got to figure it out fast. This is another short week. If by some miracle they can get past Houston, then they got to go to play a team that's beat them twice already, right? So it's a much tougher road today, than it was yesterday. So, anyways, man, I got to get going. We got to head out to a dinner. So appreciate the call, man. I will hit you up and we'll talk one of the days this week, maybe on Friday. I guess we'll talk again on Friday. We'll run another show on Friday.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you know, man, if I'm going to go to the game. I'll let you know before time.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, brother, man.
All right, cool, man.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right, folks. That is officially going to do it. It is 5:30, and I have to get on with the business of getting on. We got 1 minute left. Let's see if anybody said anything in the comments section. God bless. Alan, let me sleep with your mom. Oh, that's terrible. Start Cook. I'd say start Cook too. Oh, it looks like we got some Chief fans in here. All right. The very thing you come here to accuse us, you do to you. I don't know what the heck that means. Derek Carr ain't here anymore. So what the F? Good is it to speak about what he can't do for us? We need to beat Houston next. Yeah, I always love those types of guys, right? That's what we're doing here is speaking, by the way. So we'll speak about whatever it is that we want to speak about. All of Oakland is on suicide watch after losing the second seed. Well, perhaps, man. It's pretty bad, though. Yeah, I got a lot of hate up in here. Look at all these people from different teams. Upstate Raiders said playoffs. We need to start Cook. Again, I agree. Musgrave got to hit the lab. No, he doesn't have to hit the lab. He's got to dummy it down. Dummy it down. Make it simple. There's no reason why you should be running the exact same offense. Can't start McGloin. It's unfortunate with Maddie. Maddie's not going to finish it off. Yeah, that's it. All right, folks. Okay. The wife is over there like, let's move. All right, man. We will talk with you guys later. Thank you guys for coming. I put up a video. Go check that out. Just telling everybody Happy New Year. All of the people that have been supporting the channel. All of the people that have been watching. I know I'm a little bit down right now. But you know what? We'll see what happens next week, man. Stranger things have happened, and this team can come together. They just cannot. They can't do what they just did. I mean, that's just period. They cannot do what they just did. Hopefully, they understand and like they have all season, come back from a loss and play with fire and passion and strings of victories together. I believe they can do it, but they have to have a complete game plan. You can't do what they did today. It was just. Like I said, it was horrible, ridiculous, atrocious, and it sucked. All right, folks. I will be posting out a video where we're going to start talking about the Texans tomorrow. So I'm going to have to change my attitude and get positive after this. But man, like I said, that this sucked. All right, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again, and Happy New Year to all of you.